Hello, Big Reds. This is part 2. Let's continue on taking some notes to get ready for this test. Okay. The next question is going to be, let's say we have someone looking up at an object. Okay. And they're surveying something. Surveyors look through things a lot. And let's say they say the transit is 3 meters tall, and they're looking at something that is 100 meters away. We want to know the height. All right, so I'm going to label this. So this is going to be 100 meters. It's not to scale. This is 3 meters. This is x. So, and also I forgot to tell you that the angle is going to be 35 degrees. So this is going to be 35 degrees right here. So first of all, this is going to be opposite. This is adjacent. So if we use TOA, it's going to be tangent is opposite over adjacent. So I take tangent of 35 degrees over 1 equals opposite over adjacent, x over 100. In my calculator, I figure out what the tangent of 35 is, and that's 0.7002. Then since the number's on the bottom, I'm going to cross multiply. And to get x is about 70.0 meters. Now, here's the thing. At the very end, I have to add on this 3 meters. So I have to add on the 3 meters. So my answer is 73.0 meters. So make sure you add on whatever this is at the very end of your problem. Okay. All right, now let's try something like this. What if this was x, this was 15, and this was 22 degrees, and I want to figure out what x is? Okay. Well, this is the opposite. This is the hypotenuse. So that means we're going to use sine. So I take sine of 22 over 1 equals opposite over hypotenuse x over 15. Figure out what the sine of 22 is. That's going to be 0.3746 over 1 equals x over 15. Cross multiply. And I get x is about 5.6. So that would be my answer for that type of problem. All right, now what if I knew the sides but I didn't know the angle? So let's say this is 6 and this is 14. And I wanted to know this angle right here. Let's say it's x degrees. Well, I start off with this side, which is the adjacent side. This side, which is the hypotenuse, is I have adjacent hypotenuse, which would be cosine. So COTOA. So cosine of x degrees equals a over h, which is 6 over 14. If I don't know the angle, I have to use the inverse cosine. Remember, to use the inverse, I take the second key and then cosine. So I take second cosine, then 6 divided by 14. That gives you approximately 64.6 degrees. All right. Now the last problems, I think I've gone over 10 problems with you between the first part and the second part. The last 5 problems of your test are going to revolve around the unit circle. Okay? So, on the unit circle, we have to know our degrees. So I'm just going to quickly go through this with you. 0 degrees, 90, 180, 270. It would be 360 if I went all the way around. I'm adding 30, 45, and 60. Each time I add more, so I take 90 plus 30 is 120. 90 plus 45 gives me 135. 90 plus 60 gives me 150. Then I go 180 plus 30 gives me 210. 180 plus 45 gives me 225. 180 plus 60 gives me 240. 270 plus 30 gives you 300. 270 plus 45 gives you 315. 270 plus 60 gives me 330. Now, I know all my 45s are going to be square root 2 over 2, comma, square root 2 over 2. All the ones that end in 5s. And I have to remember positive, positive, negative, positive, negative, negative, and positive, negative for my quadrants. So this is going to be the same thing with just a different sign. So this is going to be negative square root 2 over 2, comma, square root 2 over 2. This 5 is going to be negative square root 2 over 2, negative square root 2 over 2. This 5 over here is going to be positive square root 2 over 2, negative square root 2 over 2. Okay. Now 30 is going to be square root of 3 over 2, comma, 1/2. If I make myself a little rectangular box, it's symmetrical. Across here is going to be negative square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. This is going to be negative square root of 3 over 2, negative 1/2. This is going to be positive square root of 3 over 2, negative 1/2. So these are all the same, except for different signs. Then finally up here, 60 is flipping these two around, so I have 1/2, comma, square root of 3 over 2. This is going to be negative 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. This kind of makes itself another symmetrical rectangular box. This is going to be negative 1/2 negative square root of 3 over 2. And this is going to be 1/2 negative square root of 3 over 2. And of course, this is 1, 0, 0, 1, negative 1, 0, and 0, negative 1. So why did I do all that? Okay, well, first, I need to do this to figure out sine, cosine, and tangent of these degree measures. The sine is the y, cosine is the x, and tangent is y over x. Now in this test, we've decided that we're not going to give you a tangent, so you can forget about this. So just now have to know your y and x. So I'm going to have 5 problems, and I'm not going to give you this. You need to know this. 5 problems you have to figure out. So for instance, if I asked for the cosine of 60 degrees, or I asked for the sine of 315 degrees, or I asked for the cosine of 300, or the sine of 135, or let's see, the cosine of 90. Let's just do those, okay? Cosine of 60, I go to 60, I get the x coordinate. X coordinate is going to be 1/2. Sine of 315, I go to the y value at 315. That's going to be negative square root of 3 over 2, negative square root of 2 over 2, sorry. Negative. Make sure you have the correct signs. If you have the wrong signs, it'll be marked wrong. Cosine of 300, I look at 300, get the x value, which is 1/2. Sine of 135, go to 135, get the y value, which is square root of 2 over 2. And the cosine of 90 is x value at 90. X value at 90 is 0. So again, must know all these. These are important. Hopefully, if you have any other further questions, please ask Mr. Fischel. Thanks. Good luck on your test, and go Big Reds.